Hi, good evening to you all. So today we are going to have an online session. I think this is the very first time that we are going to conduct the online session for this class. Hi, good evening to you all. So today we are going to have an online session. I think this is the very first time that we are going to conduct the online session for this class. Uh, as a third topic, we are going to emphasize on the marketing research, right? So I hope that you all can see the slides as well, right? I have already uploaded these slides to the Moodle system, so you can download it and see. And while I'm doing the presentations, of course, you can see the slides in the in a part of my video, right? So we'll move further. Now, basically, what do you mean by a market research? What do you mean by a market research? Basically, a research is all about in day-to-day life, we do some sort of researchers, right? Not formal researchers, not professional researchers. We do some kind of information search, right? As an example, like these circumstances, let's say this during this corona vacation period, I should say, right? You are searching for some of the information. What are the latest news and updates, right? That is to gain some sort of a knowledge through the information, right? Being marketeers, what we need is basically all these aspects in the world is existing, are existing, through different types of information. So information plays a vital role in in uh, making decisions, no matter whatever it is. Like, it can be for marketing, it can be for HR, it can be for finances, but anyway, what you need is information. Basically, being a subject, being a discipline, not a marketing is not a subject, right? Being a special discipline, you may need some information on markets to implement your marketing plans, to implement your marketing programs. For them, actually, you must need the marketing research. So basically, now you can understand what is the use of these marketing research. Why should we need this? We need this to gain to collect the information, to gain the marketing informational knowledge, marketing intelligence. For all these types of things, we need market research, right? So we'll first move to the marketing research definition. How can it be defined? Market research is all about collecting information, recording, analyzing and understanding of market information in order to make the marketing decisions. So this is the formal definition which you must have to remember all these definitions, because you cannot define the concepts as you want, right? Normally, I know you are very good in delivering, some of the definitions in your own words. I know that, right? Fine. So anyway, the first task is to collect the information. See, now in marketing research, we're expecting to collect the information, right? Second one is recording. As you all are receiving the information, you must record. Without recording the information, you cannot think about, have an idea about this information. So you must record it in a proper way, either through, let's say, it can be an electronic media, or it can be in a written way, or it can be on a sort of ways, right? There are so many ways of recording some of the details, right? When it comes to the codes, you may have seen someone is sitting on the codes and typing, and that is called typists. The typists are recording the code information, right? When it comes to marketing, of course, you can use either written mode, or else you can do some sort of a recording through your e-media, right? And analyzing is all about, you're going to inspect all these information, right? Basically, you will collect some data, and after that you will retrieve it in information, and after that you will analyze those elements, right, to get an in-depth idea about them, right? So, and understanding is most important, because interpretation, based on the interpretation of your marketing knowledge, you will make the decisions. So being a critical personality in developing and making decisions in marketing, you must have to always be familiar with all these market research aspects. Okay, so we'll move further. So basically, marketing research is a process of collecting, recording, analyzing, and interpreting the market information in order to make the marketing decisions. So whenever we are discussing about these marketing decisions, if you can remember, I mentioned about the marketing tools, the set of tools which we are using in marketing. What are the tools? Basically, when it comes to a product-oriented organization or a production organization, there are 4 types of marketing elements which we use, marketing tools which we use, known as marketing mix. If you can remember, the concept is 4 P's, right? Price, product, place, and promotion. When it comes to service-oriented organization, there are another 3 types of elements added to it. So we call it as extended marketing mix, right? People, process, and physical evidence. So all these matters has to be, we can receive so many information through these types of elements. Like, as an example, if you're going to launch a new product to the existing market, or let's say it's a new product, you are a new supplier of an existing product into the market, right? So whenever you are trying to reach to your particular customer segment, we were discussing about this segmentation, targeting, and positioning during our previous, the whole class, I mean. Anyway, when it comes to the price information, how sensitive is it? Price informations are very sensitive, because if the marketing is existing for that particular product, if you are targeting on entering into that particular market, so get to know about all these prices available in the market is very important in making your price decisions. When it comes to your product decision, let's say you don't know about your, whatever the product assortments, or let's say the product combinations, or let's say some of the individual products available in the market. You must know about their specifications, you must know about their features, and what are the, what are the uses of those productions, right? So you must aware about these things. Otherwise, you could have, there's a possibility of developing a new product through adding another attribute to that particular product, right? So there's an innovation, so which you can seize the market easily without considering about the existing products. I think probably you cannot deliver anything good to the society. You must understand the usage of that particular existing product, right? So the third one is about the distribution channels. What is it? Now, basically, when it comes to supermarket chains, right? So they have their own distribution channels, right? So what sort of a channel that you're going to reach to your, like through what sort of a channel that you are going to reach to your customer base, right? First, you must identify your customer base as well, because without understanding or without identifying your client base, you cannot think of delivering some sort of a value to them, right? The person who expects a mobile phone won't buy a computer, right? Totally different markets, right? You must understand, though they are searching for the technical equipments, the usage that they use, or let's say nowadays mostly the people are using their mobile phones for the mobile phone photography, right? But if a person wishes to have a mobile phone with HD camera, if you're trying to deliver some sort of a camera itself to the consumer, that won't work with your potential market, because the market is always expecting a a phone with a camera, right? Okay, so that is all. And also you must understand about the promotional strategies. What are the ways that you can place, or what are the related, or the various ways that you can push your product into the market. You cannot, when it comes to your selling era, you basically, the sellers were trying to push their whatever the production that they have without considering what market wants. But when it comes to this marketing and social marketing and digital marketing era of marketing, you cannot think in that way. You must have to understand what are the promotional ways, the ways that you can communicate, right? The ways that you can reach to your target clients, right? So this much of information, not only these things, but of course you can consider about these excellent marketing mix and all the 7 P's, right? So getting know about all these information is all about the marketing research, right? We'll move further. Now, when it comes to the American Marketing Association, of course, I should have to mention this as well. American Marketing Association, they have developed their own definition in a different way, but it's referring to the same thing, right? They have defined the marketing. I will show you, right? They have defined this market research as a function that links the consumer or the customer. If you can remember, what are the difference between the consumer and customer? Consumer is a person who buys, or who buys the product for his ultimate consumption, his or her ultimate consumption. But a customer is a person who buys it with the purpose of reselling that particular product to another party, right? So basically a seller, let's say a retailer, right? The definition says consumer, the customer, and public to the marketer through information used to identify and define the marketing opportunities and problems, generate, refine, and evaluate marketing actions, monitor marketing performance, and improve understanding of marketing as a process. So this is the definition for the market research by the American Marketing Association. We call it as AMA. Right. So have you heard about the marketing information systems? Of course, I'm pretty sure that you being the business students, you might have an idea about the management information system. We call them as MISs, right? As like that, here the marketing information systems also does some sort of information supply to the people, those who make the decisions on marketing. right? We call them as the marketing information systems. Simply, we can define marketing information systems are built to deliver, produce, record information in order to make the marketing decisions. So basically, it provides and produces information which are relevant for conducting marketing researches. So basically, to conduct a marketing research, there are so many elements in these MISs. I will show you what are they. To conduct these marketing research, you may need the information. So to get that information, these marketing information systems are very much important, right? So these are the four basic main components of marketing information systems. As you can see these things. So the first one is internal records, right? So whatever it can be primary or secondary data, but of course, some of the internal records, those are the inside information of the company, right? Those are internal records. Marketing intelligence. Marketing intelligence is all about you collect some information from the external data. Let's say you are collecting some of the information from your consumers. There are some of the syndicated marketing research firms are located in different areas, and you can ask one of the syndicated firms to, or even a marketing research firm to do the marketing research, on behalf of you. If you don't have that capacity to, access to the information all around the country, or let's say all around the world. So you can ask, it's not practical now. You being a person, let's say you being a supplier or you being a producer of a product to domestic market, that's fine, you can do. But of course, if you are trying to go global, so what will be the scenario? Because you cannot conduct the marketing research just by spending millions of money even before you are releasing a new product. So for that, of course, you can ask different types of agencies and marketing information systems and marketing research firms are located all over the world. So you can ask by selecting your clientele and the consumer cluster, you can ask them to provide you with an information. So they will do it for you. This information into your MDSS, and after that you can analyze and interpret those information. Basically, you will receive some data which are not adding any value. So you will some improvements in those data, and after that you will receive into your MDSS and you can interpret them as well. Okay, so we discussed about these marketing information systems. Moving to further, I would like to come to the main point of this discussion. So that is marketing research process. So it's basically a process, right? There are a series of activities should be there, because to become a process, it should be the series of activities. So when it comes to marketing research process, there are 6 steps. There are 6 steps to be followed in order to complete your marketing research process. Ultimately, your expectation is to gain some information in order to make the marketing decisions. You must remember these things, right? Fine. So the first one is define the problem and the research objectives. Now let's say, just despite being sticked into this marketing research, probably you may have done research in your college times, probably you may have done in your research in your undergrads, or let's say in diplomas. So what were the activities that you did, right? Basically, you must first, now here in marketing research process, you must first understand what is your research objective and what are you going to looking at, right? What is your spectrum of the spectrum of knowledge? What are you going to look at, right? So defining the problem and the research objectives. It can be on price, it can be, now in marketing, it can be on price, it can be on product, it can be on promotion, the way that you can reach to your target markets, right? So these much of things, right? So you must first understand what is the research problem. Now let's say, as an example, if you are trying to develop a new product, right? So you may have varieties of problems, but you must be specific into a particular problem in solving, right? And the second one is developing the research plan for collecting information. You must be having a research plan. Without planning, it's going to totally disturbed with your process. So because of that, you must have to first develop a critical research plan for your collecting information. Then third one is implementing the research plan and collecting information. You must, just because of planning in the sense, it won't work, right? You must implement it. You must operationalize it. So you implement the research plan and collect the information. That is the third phase. And the fourth one is analyze the results. How you can analyze the results? Basically, you can use MDSSS to analyze whatever the information that you received through different sort of information sources. Fourth one is reports and findings. Okay, be careful. If you are a junior employee, if you are a person who works under a manager, so you must, be careful in reporting and reporting the findings, right? And implementation of operations. That is the last phase of marketing research process, which you may have made a decision and according to the information that you received, right? So you will implement your marketing operations according to the information received. Right. Okay, we'll go further to get to know about these information in depth. So as I told you earlier, the step one was to problem identification and definition of objectives. Now, the seriousness of this activity is all about, you're going to identify a particular or a specific area about your research problem, right? In defining your research the research problem, or let's say the problem identification phase, you may encounter with two types of errors. What are they? Now, finding the information, you can be biased about, your outcome, right? Let's say if you want to get a favorable outcome for your opinion, you will be biased on collecting that sort of information on marketing research, right? That is what we call of errors of commission. You're not going to, compensate over whatever the adverse results that you are getting. So you're not going to, bother about them, and always you're trying to be biased on your expected outcome. Let's say, even though the product is failed as per your records, or let's say the received information, you're going to prove that no, this is not. It will be worked perfectly, right? So this is the case. Hope you can understand this. If you do have any clarifications, of course I couldn't make it, right? Mark this word. You can always comment on this video, or else you can make sort of live chat sessions are on, so you can do the live chats as well. And also you can send me the emails and I can solve whatever the problems that you have, right? And the second one is errors of omission. I've told you about the errors of commission, and this is the second one is the errors of omission. What is this? Errors of omission in the sense, even though you're trying and planning to do your research on the research problem, your major issue hasn't addressed through that particular research. Let's say, as an example, okay, sorry, these are the circumstances whichever you make during the online presentations and online videos, so that's fine, right? So errors of omission, what do you mean by this? You are not going to discuss on your key issue of your problem. So in that sense, let's say if you're having a problem on your pricing strategies, if you're having any problem on price, how to price a product and things like that, you are going to do your research on promotions. You have never addressed in that particular element, or let's say you must receive the information on the price, right? That is called errors of omission. You omit some of the elements where you need to gain the information through, right? So the second phase is almost like all about develop research plan for collecting the information. First, you must remember you can be a marketing executive, marketing associate, or a marketing manager. But decide on all these aspects, especially whenever you are developing a plan to collect the research information, right? So decide on the source of the information, from where that you can collect the data. It can be primary or secondary. Primary in the sense you're going to get some information which is very new. That is from a particular person, right? Directly, like whenever you do some sort of interviews, whenever you do some sort of questionnaires, so you are getting direct information from that particular party, right? So that is what we call as primary information. If you the second are the information which are revealed by some of the magazines and things like that, right? So they are already published in so many different types of sources, so you can refer them as well. So basically, if you are, with the sensitivity and with the seriousness of the information that you are going to search, you must understand what are the sources, or you must be able to analyze and see what are the sources which are suited for your requirement. Second one is research approach, right? It can be focus group, behavioral data, and experimental. You must understand what sort of a research approach you're trying to implement in your research. Research instruments. So what are the research instruments? You can do some sort of live, nowadays you have another technology called online surveys, right? So you can do online surveys, especially some of the food manufacturers are doing online surveys and giving some of the discounts, and even, those are the ways that being the companies, they gain the information from different sources, right? So those are like basically the primary information, right? Okay, the consumer experiences and so on and so forth. And the questionnaires, psychological tests, tele-interviews, right? These are the information sources. Research instruments and sampling plan. It can be probabilistic or it can be non-probabilistic. When it comes to sampling plan, you must understand what sort of a sample that you are going to, because now let's say as an example, if you are a chocolate company, if you are a chocolate manufacturer, you cannot conduct your research or collect your information with the people, those who consume chocolate in all over the country. Let's say you are a domestic chocolate supplier, right? You cannot expect somebody to go and collect all these information from different consumers by meeting them individually. You can't think of, right? Which is not very practical, right? Obviously, what you can do is you must first select, if you are trying to, collect the information through the country, so you can select some of the people, those who would like to, those are much favored on chocolates from different the locations of the country, right? If you are basically considering about the ethnic groups, of course, you can do ethnic group consideration as well, right? So you can select 9 people from 9 provinces, but by the way, it must be sufficient enough sufficient enough sample to go with, right? It's not possible to have 9 comments from 9 different people from 9 different provinces and do your work. It's not practical, because no one, 9 people won't represent your 9 provinces. You must at least select, let's say, 81 people, 9 people from each province into 9, so 81. You must have the ability and you must be confident with your number of, let's say, the sample elements, right? So sampling plan. Contact method. So how we are going to contact? Personal interviews, can be online surveys, can be different questionnaires, right? There are so many ways of doing it, right? See, constraints, fine. So anyway, third one is collecting data. So data in the sense you will get the data from, you're not going to get the information from different sources, right? So you're going to get some of data through the preliminary researchers, or let's say the primary information sources or secondary information sources. You are going to get the data. You are not getting information. So you must analyze, you must make them as the information. How you can do it? You must first interpret the data, collect the data, store the data, and after that you can do some interpretation process, and then it may become the information, which are useful facts for your decision making, right? So you can do use marketing intelligence as well. You can use some of the knowledge, can be theoretical knowledge, when it comes to the theories, 4Ps are a concept which came through a theory, right? So you must know about the theories as well, right? And the fourth phase is analyzing the results. You can do it through MDSSS. Report findings, of course, you can do you through your reports. I know you are not in a favor of hearing to these types of conversations, the online meetings in this Corona vacation. So to ensure that you're getting the point at the correct time, so that is why I'm speeding up my online discussion. Even though the discussion is over, fine. Still the live chat is available, so I'll be here, so you can chat with me. And report findings and also the implementation. Implementation is the most dangerous part because they are going to implement your decision. So be careful with whatever the decision that you get based on the information that you received. So you are getting this decision based on the information that you received, right? It's not proven that all the information are correct, right? So there's a chance of going adverse as well, right? So characteristics of a good marketing research. The next point is all about research creativity. Multiple methodologies can be used, and interdependence of the models and the data. You can be proven, the information that you received can be proven through different types of models and the data factors. And a very good research information system won't get that sort of a cost to reach to your particular sample, or let's say the research sample, right? So value and the cost of the information is should be less when it comes to the very good marketing research system. And also you must get the information in an ethical way, so that should be ethical. And some of the barriers are there to use the marketing research because of it can be because of the narrow conception, because you are not basically though they are if you the spectrum of the spectrum of your research is very big, but you have narrowly conceptualized your marketing topic, marketing research topic. And uneven caliber of marketing research, of course you can understand what I'm telling to. And poor framing problems, of course you can even in selecting your samples, or even if you are selecting your research frames, you might have done some sort of poor framing. So because of that, you cannot you have no probably you don't have the access to the correct information as well. And also the personality and presentation differences. So based on some of the presentations, it's based on some of the people would like to, they would like to receive some of the questionnaires like yes and no questions, right? No one is going to, even whenever we are asking you to give the comment sheets on the lectures, so most of you are not going to describe some of the areas because you are not that sort of, you are not in a position to describe those areas, and you are not in a favor of maybe. But anyway, ultimately, once we receive the information, we don't know about the ideas and things that you have because you haven't described them in your paper. So because of that, we are not going to get them. So these much of barriers and constraints are there in marketing research. Okay, guys. So I think we've conducted the lesson well, and we hope you got an idea about this marketing research instruments and the background of the marketing research. So if you do have any concerns, let me know via my email, or even you can come into the chat sessions and you can do chatting with me. I'll be here around. So thank you very much. Make sure that you all are getting the safety precautions during this Corona vacation season, and hope that you're doing good for now. And stay at home. Don't try to play cricket and all these things. All these things will be you have to decide on your life, and it's the most important thing. So try to be at home. If you have any concerns, let me know. So thank you very much for joining for the presentation. Thank you for being on time. I really appreciate your presence here today. Thank you very much.